All right. So we are going to look at how to record details of subscriptions in our account. So how to account for subscriptions. Now this could come in several ways. So we'll look at the first ways that this could be presented for us to make the entries in our RT accounts. Remember, the emphasis is to find the portion of subscription that relates to the current year in your income and expenditure accounts. So if you look at, it's always important to look at the dates. Usually you find that the current year, okay, would precede, and then that will be followed by the previous year. Or you find that in terms of the months, it's always good to check the months, the accounting period, to know which is the opening balance and the closing balance. Okay. So if you look at this example, for instance, we have the subscription due, and then we have the subscription prepaid. So your subscription due is also your subscription owing. So subscription due or subscription owing or subscription outstanding. These are all terms that refers to subscriptions that members owe the organization. Okay. So once your members are owing, they are assets to you. All right. And then if they have paid in advance, so subscription prepaid or paid in advance, they are liabilities because it means that your members have paid in advance. They have monies with you. Okay. So what we remember about our assets are that assets have debit balances. I'm sure you remember that. Liabilities have credit balances. Okay. So with this in mind, we are going to look at these subscriptions and ask ourselves which of these subscriptions belong to us. They are assets. We own it. We have control over them. Because they are resources that we expect our members to give to us. Okay. And then those that are in liability in the sense that they've been paid in advance. Okay. So our members' monies are with us. Once we establish that, we open our subscription account. Then you notice we have our debit side, we have our credit side, our columns for our currency, and then the details. All right. So if you look at these balances, you start with the opening balances, which is 1st January 2021. Subscription owing is 700. We said subscription owing is an asset because they are monies that we expect to get from our members. So they are assets. And assets have debit balances. So in the subscription accounts, we are going to show our subscriptions owing here. So because it's at the beginning of the year, would say subscriptions brought down. All right. And then, so that amounts to 700, which is this one. Okay. And then the 1,003 is subscription owing at the end of the year. So if it's owing, it comes to the opposite side. which we have as 1003. So this is our owing at the beginning. This is our owing at the end. Okay. And remember, this is our assets. Remember, we said also that we don't leave our carry downs in our accounts. Okay. So it means that we are going to the end of the account is going to look like this. We are going to have our double lines to show the total, and then this owing comes to the opposite side. I'm sure you remember this. So let's just show that. Um, where is my drawings, my line? Okay. So just to make an indication. All right. I'm sure we remember this. So this 700 is here. Okay. And then 13 is here. Okay. All right. And we said that we don't leave um the owing in the credit side. We need to bring it back to. Okay. So let's look at that. Our colors are not going. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the subscription prepaid. So with our subscription prepaid, we have our beginning, which is the 15, and then we have the prepaid. Okay. All right. Just a minute. Let me clean this, and then we can move on. Okay. So our subscription prepaid is a liability. So we go to the credits and remove. We said the liabilities have credit balances. So we're going to have our prepaid, okay, or subscription prepaid. At the beginning of the year is 15. So when we go to the opposite side, we're going to have subscription prepaid carry down. So this will be our brought down, subscription brought down, and then subscription prepaid carry down, which is a 25. So we are using the dates, okay? This is the beginning. The beginning is always the starts and then the closing. Okay. All right. So now that we have that, let me take out my red lines so we can see clearly what we are doing. Okay. So I can put this here as 31st December. And then I'll put here also 1st January. All right. And then I'll put here also my 1st January. Let me put that in the cell here so it's even. And then this one will be 31st December. All right, great. So we see 1st January owing, and then 31st December owing, like this. And then we see the prepaid, and then the prepaid. Remember, we said we need to bring the prepaids down. So we're going to have a prepaid brought down for the next year, which is 2022. Okay. Now notice that all of these are closing balances. Closing balances, which will be transferred to the statement of financial position as what? As assets and liabilities. All right, so if you put it here also, that helps you to remember where it's going. Okay. All right, so now we need to check whether the balances are equal. So if we add this, we're having 1315. If we add this, we're getting 725. Okay. Now we are not done. So we need to check out. You see that the account hasn't balanced. Okay. We go to our receipt and payment account and check whether we have any information about subscriptions. Okay, so if we check the receipts, and usually be given information from the receipts and payment account. If you check the receipts and payments account, you see that the subscription at the receipt side, 5,007. Once it's at the receipt side, it tells us that monies have been received. Members have paid their subscriptions amounting to 5,007. Because it's on the debit side of the receipts and payments account, when we go to the subscription account, we'll see it on the credit side. Okay, so subscription received 57 is debited to the receipts and payments account. We go to the credit side, we write cash received, and the amount is 57. Okay, so here it's helping you to track how much of your subscription relates to 2021. Some are owing at the beginning of the year, some are owing at the end of the year. This is how much they are owing. We have been able to determine that some have paid in advance, we have received some cash also. This cash could be advance, this cash could be those who are paying now. So all of these details, we need them. But at the end of the day, because of the matching concept, we need to be able to find the subscription that relates to only 2021. Okay. And after you've done all of this in your subscription account, the difference is what would go into your income and expenditure account as your subscription for the year. So we're going to have this also, because obviously this side is more. Then we need to find the difference. Okay. So the difference is what relates to the current year. So I'm going to find this difference. Okay. It can also be here. I mean, you can put it anywhere, depending on the space you have. But what we are saying is that this side Okay, must be equal to this side. When we add this side, we are getting 70, 15, 7,015. This side also should be 7,015. So we want the missing figure. 700 plus 25 minus the 7,015 would give us our balance for the year. Okay, so you notice that this is our income and expenditure. Okay, so this is the subscription for the period. After we've taken note of those who have paid in advance, those who have paid cash, those who are owing leftover, every detail. We've done all of it. Now, what is for 2021 is what we have captured here. This one is for next year, paid in advance. This one is also for next year. Okay. So after all the deductions and additions, this is what we are taking to our income and expenditure account. So when we go to our income and expenditure account, when we go to our income and expenditure accounts like this, income and expenditure account. Of course, we need to show the name of the company there. So let's say it's Lagata, right? Lagata Fun Club. So income and expenditure for the year ended 31st December 2021. That's what we're accounting for. So if you go to that income, your first income is what? Subscription. You put your amount there, and this is the figure. This one. Okay. All right. So that is how you are going to capture your subscription. So you need to calculate this. You need to calculate your subscription, and then that is what you show here. Okay. All right. So that's about it. Let's give it some more colors. Let me put my red back. Let's see whether I can get my. Let's see if. Oosh, too big. Um, let's see whether I can get my red back. Okay, so here we go for our subscription. All right, so that's it. Let's do some more practice. And then I'm sure that we will be fine. Okay, I need to select all and merge. All right, so that's about it. Let's keep practicing and we'll be fine. Bye for now.